see that?
Things are heating up, they best prepare for global warming. And realise that this right here's more than a local warning. Future mogul scoring socially, my totals forming. Manifesting elements that integrate my soul's proportion. Yes, it's I the one who rose from the fire.
What is the crack, everybody? It is Dylan from Mabfield here, and I'm joined by Jack.
Yeah, how's it going?
Got another special guest this week, so why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Nonzus Magnus. I am an Irish K-pop singer from Dublin, Ireland.
Yeah, it's good to have you on. Like, how you been? Like, last time I seen you was the headline show.
Yeah, headline show. I'm good. Took a bit of a rest after that, I won't lie. Just get my energy back up and that. Plan some stuff, prep some stuff, work on some things. And yeah, just back at it, doing some promo and all that stuff. But yeah, down in Belfast for the first time, so that's sick.
Yeah. No, it's always sick when people come up and haven't been here before. Getting out everywhere, get your promo going. But how do you feel the reaction to Fight Club's been so far?
It's been weird, like weird in a good sense, because it's one of those ones where the people who have been checking it out, I didn't expect those type of people to, really fuck with it and like it.
Yeah.
Like and a lot of day one supporters, a lot of old friends, like day one friends, they've always just been coming out of the woodwork saying, "Oh, this is sick, da da da." Like literally, I was heading to the gym yesterday, and I ran into two of my friends, and they were just like, "Yo, props." I was like, nah, it was not me, but yeah, it's just been a great response. Obviously, couldn't have done it without my guys, my team, my friends. But yeah, I've been really happy with it.
Do you think part of the good reaction is just because of how quality the video is?
And like standard.
Yeah, I mean, not that the song is bad, you know what I mean? But I feel like how good the video is with all the different locations and cuts and stuff. I think it draws people in.
I feel like something that really works towards it is the fact that personally, I've never done something like that before, and a lot of people were telling me yo, you're in for it now. You've set that for yourself. I was like, I know. But look, it's a challenge, and I like the challenge. But yeah, like you said, camera quality. I think we shot that on 4K and stuff, and obviously direct, and we proper have rehearsals and stuff for that. People wouldn't know because 4-minute video.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2 days rehearsals, 3 days of shooting, and people were coming outside from Tyler and stuff like that. Obviously, a lot of local people there. But yeah, a lot of work they go into it.
It's pretty cool because you'd obviously have to have people invested in that, because to be honest, if someone said to me, right, we're going to get you all to wear white vests and dance around in the dark, I'd sort of be a bit but they obviously see the vision, and you directed it yourself.
Yeah, I did.
And how was that pitching it to people?
Okay, so you guys understand that when you start to really listen, make music or analyze music, you don't perceive it like everybody else. I guess it's a weird phenomenon, weird concept to, I'll say, the average listener. So now you may want to show someone at the time I hadn't recorded the vocals yet, but I played the beat, and some people just get it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's I remember my friend Michael in the video. He's just when he heard it, he's just when the beat was dong. He's you know what I mean? It's a higher hitting. Originally that song wasn't even meant to go into that direction, but the more I kept working on it, the more I kind of lost my mind. I was just doing whatever. But yeah, so when I started telling people, one of the guys, Ola, I was like, "Yo, Ola, I'm starting a Fight Club," and he's like, "What?" I was like, "I want you to be in it." I was just booking people, But then I started to go into it more and more. When I finally recorded the vocals, I mixed it a bit, and that's when I came up with the idea. My mind's kind of weird, so the duration of that song is actually the time it took for me to make up the whole screenplay, the whole writing thing. It's just I hear the lyric and already thoughts come into my head. I don't know. I do have a bit of a history when it comes to directing and stuff too. So yeah, having that, I put up my story. We're just trying to recruit people, but I wanted it to be people who were local.
Yeah.
Just for convenience, because imagine trying to get someone from here and there.
Yeah.
It just makes everything much more difficult. And fortunately, like I said, a lot of day one people were hitting me up and really interested in it. People who usually wouldn't do that type of thing.
Yeah.
So that was a blessing, and it was just cool because one thing I've been really about this summer was just catching up with all my old friends and stuff. So that gave me an opportunity for something like that too. But yeah, the first rehearsal we had, I told them okay, so your homework is kind of. I really went into I don't know. We'll like talk about the build up as well a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
So shout out to my friend Jack Calleran. He's a photographer in Dublin. Him and Chris Renzel the kid, they helped me also prep for the initial build up, because a lot of it was low key. I didn't even like let people know, look, I'm dropping a song, or like, look, I'm putting out a music video, because usually I don't even drop a music video with a song. But I was like, let me do something different this time, and we had a photo shoot, and like that whole period, I fully went into Fight Club mode, in the sense where like I went on Reddit and stuff. I was like, songs that Tyler Durden would listen to and shit, like on some real like method acting type thing. And like even like on the day of the shoot, like Renzel, he kept on telling me like, you feel me, like you're Tyler Durden right now. Like in the moment, everything you do, you are him type thing. So as I'm listening to the music, I'm doing. You've seen those shoots, I'm like in the zone type thing, you know. And I had to adopt that mentality for that whole period, like those months. Because just like in general, like life stuff too, and the philosophy of it. Because one reason I picked that song title, that theme, is because I related to it a lot in the sense of its philosophy, or its characters, whether it's the narrator or Tyler. I could talk about that in a bit later, but going back to what I was saying. So yeah, there's the photo shoot aspect. I hit up one of the two local stores, Tola Vintage and Dublin Vintage Factory. Yeah. And they gave me some clothes to use for the photo shoot, and I also got like a piece to use for the video. So that was sick. Yeah, it was just like I said, just mad support from like people I've known, people close, this and that. And then eventually actually get into the shoot, like going back to the part about the homework. So guys, I need you to all get black socks, black work trousers if you have any. If you're not, let me know. I'll sort you out. Black shoes and a white vest. And yeah, so everybody had to do it. And another thing is like I needed everybody who hadn't watched it at least to go and watch the film, because it's I really just played on the world of Tyler Durden, the world of Fight Club, in a sense where like you have common people, and then you have people who are in this system. Not the generic system, but the one we make our own rules. We do this is our world, this is our family type thing. So you have to like entirely develop and adopt that mentality. So like even so, if you watch the film, I don't know if you guys watched the film. Yeah. What do you think about the film in general?
The first time I watched it, I was about 15. I really didn't get it. Right. I didn't like it at all. But I watched it again recently, and yeah, I think it is a really good. I think it's one of those weird movies where it's a bit like Wolf of Wall Street or something, where people sort of like misinterpret the point of the film, I think. Do you know what I mean? How like people watch Wolf of Wall Street and they're like, wow, he's such a sick guy, like this is great, when in reality it's just like a horrible person. Like I feel like a lot of people like watch Fight Club and they're like, wow, Tyler Durden is amazing, which you are supposed to think in the film, but then obviously you're supposed to like come to the realization that he's not actually amazing. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I watched it when I was really young, so I don't have any like deep affirmations about it, to be honest, but I thought it was sick.
Like same here. Like first time I watched it, shout out my friend Dean Flynn. He was the one that gave me the CD. I think I was about 17 the first time I watched it, and like I'll be honest, I fell asleep. It's like like the first time I watched it, I fell asleep. It was so trippy, and it's one of those ones where you do actually have to watch it like pay
intently,
exactly, to really understand it.
Yeah.
So I've watched it about 3 times now, and it's like the more I watch it, the more I'm like, whoa, okay, didn't see that, didn't know that the first time. Yeah. It's a lot deeper than you may think it is, but yeah.
Have you read the book?
No, but I know it's I watched the guys' interviews and stuff. I know there is. I would try and check it out though.
Yeah. I haven't actually read it myself, but one of our good mates has read it. He said it's really amazing. It's quite different from the film, I think. It's a different spin on it.
It's a lot, but I was just like, obviously most people wouldn't. It's just that, you know, that statement like, oh, the book versus the, you know, and I feel like for like that one there, a lot more people would know the film rather than the book. So yeah, from what I know, rather than go off and do this, let me just, you know, adopt that first and then see what else I can do.
Yeah. I'm quite surprised though that you came up with the like that idea for the video and after you heard the beat. Because like when you're watching the video, I'm thinking like, oh, this was like one thing. Like you sort of like had this idea and then like sort out the beat to make it happen. But yeah, I find it really surprising that you came up with all of that after you'd heard the song. Yeah,
like, so how do I put it? Like my mind is like, imagine like a spider web. It's like, I guess I want to say like see like the way girls like, I'm saying like the way they think, like they retain a lot of memory, in in a sense where like they can think of one thing and think of another. Like my mind works like a spider web. So it's like I think of one thing like this kind of monster here, and it can just shoot back to like 5 years ago when we were drinking Monster and longboarding or skating or something. You get what I'm saying? So like if I'm listening to my vocals, my lyrics, and it's just like about like 50 ideas bounce off in a quick seconds and stuff, I'm just like, alright, cool. Like I remember like I was hearing the beat for it. It's like I need a cheese, I need a cockamillish, and my head just swung to the part in the film where he was running and chasing after Tyler. I just thought of like the clips where like you see the cut and it's like do 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 do, yeah, you know, types of things like that. And yeah, just whatever else. Like I was just fortunate like it came to me quickly because I do get like some people do have like creative blocks and stuff like that. I guess mine are a bit different. I feel like my creative blocks are more so like I'm always thinking of stuff. So for me, it's more so like, is this good or is this great? You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, I can always do something good, but like, is this so like that folklore for me would have been like a first something in a long while type thing. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sort of fascinated by your fascination with movies in your music, because like you've had the whole Matrix thing going on before as well. And is this something that you've always wanted to intertwine, just your different interests, or how does that come about?
I've always loved movies since forever. Funny enough, I was a weird ass kid. Like when I was like 10, 11, I used to watch a lot of horror films, horror shows and stuff, like on some really weird shit. Like I'd be like, come back from school and start watching Friday the 13th. And then eventually I realized this is some like weird energy I shouldn't be feeding myself. Because you know, like it's the stuff you watch is what you feed yourself.
Yeah.
But like it made me a bit more desensitized to a lot of those stuff. I could see like blood and going. I watch anime too, so it's like known to me.
Yeah.
Like ever watch like Attack on Titan or something, you see a lot of stuff. But like it opens your mind to like all these other types of realms in a sense. Like when you listen to a song, when you watch a film, it's like you almost enter the mind of that director, that writer, that artist, you know. So when like I would grow up watching like say Blade or this and that, so many films, and I took up a lot of stuff. And originally I actually wanted to go and study like acting in university. So like I was really interested in that route. I also did transition year, and my teacher, we had a photography teacher, Mr. Sullivan, who really taught us the ropes when it came to like videography, photography, photo editing and stuff like that. And me and one of my friends, Demantis, he was actually somebody I started doing videos with. So like we would shoot for like artists way back. This is like 2013 and stuff, you know. This is when like the scene wasn't really that strong like that. But yeah, and then as time went on, I started to get more in front of the camera than behind it. But yeah.
Do you prefer being in front of the camera or thinking of the ideas or behind it?
I have my moments. Like sometimes like my personality in general, like I can be outgoing and stuff, but like to an extent I can be a bit shy or whatever. But then too, I do like my personal space. So like sometimes I don't want to talk, sometimes I don't want to see anybody, you know. So it's just like those moments there, like that's when I like recline and that's when I study. Cause like it's that whole thing, like you can't output when you meant to input. You can't do it at the same time. Sometimes those quiet periods is when you take a lot of things in. Like this year, I didn't do a festival, but I knew that, okay, this is the time I need to work on music. I need to work on music videos. I need to work on this and that, understand this and take this and learn this. Cause like that other period, yeah, you have your peers doing this, but like everybody has to do something at their own pace, their own time. And I feel like that's something a lot of people don't realize, because like some of these guys that you're seeing that you might be think you're competing with, they've probably been doing this like 7 years, 6 years, 5 years. You're just starting. You might be 2 years, you might be 1 year, you might be like, you know what I mean, 5 months.
Yeah.
So like just go at your own pace at the end of the day type thing. Obviously move smart, but yeah, just do you.
Yeah, I think that's important, the way you're talking about timing almost, because if you're doing festivals, you know, you're out in the spotlight, you're doing your thing, but then it's almost like a blessing in disguise that sometimes if you don't have maybe appearances that you have to be making, shows you have to be doing, because then that's when you're working on your craft. And is that something when you were younger that did you always feel comfortable just locking yourself away and working on music or working on projects? Is that something, because I feel like that's an innate thing with a lot of artists.
Yeah, I was always the type to lock myself in my room, I won't lie. Like obviously you come back from school, you do your homework. I mean, when you do your homework.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes. But yeah, like just I was always more fascinated with like a lot of whether it was like dance or art or whatever else. I was really big into like art, like painting, drawing, stuff like that too. But then I used to watch a lot of anime, so I was just sitting down. I just like, once again, you're feeding yourself a lot of things. So having so many mediums, and I dance a lot too. Like I was into like hip hop and stuff, but then I started getting into breakdancing. So like I listened to like, and that's when I started listening to a lot of old school music like James Brown and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was just like really studying the culture and getting into it, and I'd just be like so fascinated with this whole other life. So that period, it wasn't until 2014 that I started to make beats, but I was still in the groove of like just being in my room editing videos, or like watching this or studying this, or oh shit, that's going on there, oh sick, da-da-da. And YouTube was different back then. You could message people on YouTube. So like I was a bit of a nerd. I'd be like trying to learn like Japanese and stuff, and like I'd be talking to people and like trying to help them correct me or whatever, or I'd be checking this out and talking to this person like, oh, I love your video, da-da-da. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like really living in that what's that term? It's like, you ever like listen to like Donald Glover's Because the Internet?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
kind of like life, just like because the internet, like internet kids, like raised on the internet, literally type thing. I was one of those kids. Like Tumblr too was a big thing. So like I'd always be in my room like scrolling and shit.
Yeah, I think it's a thing with this like sort of generation of musicians, I guess, is that like because they've like grown up with the internet, it seems like everyone just like wants to make all their own videos and stuff now. Do you know what I mean? Like where in the past you'd have like, you know, Donald Glover wouldn't be making his videos; he'd be just performing. Whereas like now,
I think it's because you can do everything. And do you ever feel a burden of doing everything? Because you do a lot of your own stuff, or do you really embrace that?
It's a bit of both. Like I understand, like especially now, I really do understand the concept of having a team. But like I said, for a long time, I was on my ones, like I was on my own type thing, in the sense where like I was really comfortable in solidarity. I was really comfortable just being on my own, working away, and you know, working to late like nights and late hours. But having close it was more so of a thing of not having people who were interested in similar things as you. But as you begin to know, oh, this person like this, I like that too, and then you just chill, that's when I started to get people who are like, you know, you don't have to do everything on your own type thing. And that's one thing like my friends have been trying to drill into me a lot more, and I'm really starting to get it, you know, because they just like not a character flaw, but just in terms of like my own stress, my own work, I do like take up everything on my own. And like there's like, you know, you do have like friends, like we can, you know what I mean, whether it's like creative work or this and that, we're here, like, you know what I mean. Sometimes friends are there for you to lean on, you know. So yeah, that's that there.
is it is that maybe like partly because you like didn't trust them to work on something that you were working on, that it would be as good as you wanted it to be?
It's half and half. It's like I said, like I know how my mind works, so it's like when even having the blessing of like making my own beats and stuff too, like I can, if I think of a sound, I'll know how to create it, or I can figure out how to create it. Sometimes it's hard to translate what you want to do, if you just don't have the vocabulary, you know. But or if the people, you and them don't think alike type thing. But at the same time too, sometimes I can be a bit stubborn in a sense. It's just like I want this and I don't want anything else. But then it depends on your vision. Like what can you do that doesn't need to be compromised? What can you do that even if it's compromised won't affect the vision? So it's just trying to find that gray area.
Yeah, because like one of the things that I really wanted to bring up that was so clear to me the first time I heard you was that with the Rage and Chill EP, that is such a coherent project, and you can tell that you've done the majority of the production, the vocals, everything yourself, because it's such a distinctive style. And it like you talked about compromising some of the elements. Is that something you think going forward that you're going to change, or not compromise it, but you know, you're willing to give a bit more creative, a bit more of the
Creative influence of someone else.
Yeah. Because I feel like that's almost what made you distinctive, is that you'd done everything and you could hear it in the project. You know what I mean?
Because I remember even Eric from District, like he was saying like for him to, I was the sold out. He was saying like for him to do something like that, it's crazy. It's such early stages. But like what people don't know is like I've been producing before like I even started making music, like probably like 2 years, 2-3 years before that. But it wasn't heavy. It was like on and off. And so like I had a bit of familiar knowledge, and I had a lot of mentors here and there to tell me, okay, this is how this works. But in terms of like input, because it's one of them ones like, was it like birds, like hawks or whatever? They have a mother, they have a father, whatever. They're reared, they're raised, and then eventually they throw them off the cliff, like go fly. You know what I mean? Type thing like that. Like you have to find your own type of sound. And I knew like yeah, you can either like, cause I don't get me wrong, I do have producers. I do have producers. Shout out my friend Jordan Drakes, in London, in the UK. I've had so many people send me stuff when I first started, but it was one of those things where I knew to really find myself as an artist, I would have to, just because of how my mind works. Once again, I would have to kind of branch out my own way for a bit and try and make my own stuff, even if it flops, even if it's not like, as clear what the vision is type thing. Eventually I'll find my way. And that's why, like, when I put out Rage and Shrill, it was mainly for me. But I recorded that with actually when he flew down for the show, him and his girl Anna, and I brought him on stage, Luke and Pearl. I recorded 3 of the tracks. I recorded 4 of the tracks at his place, and then I recorded 1 more of the tracks at my friend Zenith's in back in London as well. And I recorded a bit of one of the songs with Jeremy from Systematic. But I remember, like, Luke could tell me, like, because he was really pushing to, like, and he had the knowledge, obviously, like, if you could do the mixing, or if that input. But I was really hard on, I need to do this myself entirely because this is my mind, no one else's. So, like, in that sense, where I have to be strict on this, like, I just cannot compromise that one right now. Like, right now, people need to take in what goes on in my head. I listened to the interviews did with, I can't say his name. Probably it's like
Seabackle, yeah.
And he was just talking about sampling, and once again, it's like that. Like, people do knock it down a lot, but you would have never guessed it was a King Crow. That's basically King Crow's song.
Yeah.
You feel me? But I mean, obviously, it's not because it's my song. But,
Yeah.
So it's really as much as, if it's creative, it's creative. In the sense where, like, if you like, creativity is taking something and making it your own. Like, that doesn't sound like anything like King Crow. You just can't say that.
Yeah,
I mean, you just can't. But, like, you just can't.
It's probably once it gets into the realm where it's not recognizable as the other song, then there's no harm in it. I don't think, at least.
In a sense of, because I mean, you can do it. That's interpolation, low key. But in a sense, well, it's the same energies, because I started to understand how to transmute energy through songs into, like, another song and stuff like that, and tempos and chords and, like, a lot of, like, music theory. I started to look at that a lot more. Like, you can never not learn enough. You know what I mean? But I feel like, just once again, putting your own twist, just being yourself on something, because essentially creativity is learning from others and then making your own understanding, your own output from it. Like, nothing is 100% you, because I guess we all do our influence in some shape or form.
Yeah, I think. Even like, unconsciously, you'll always put your influences in. Like, you'll never make something that's just, like, 100% come from you. It's like everything that's led up to you in your life that you then put up into the art. But what kind of people have, like, influenced you in the direction that you're going, do you think, musician wise?
I can't say direction I'm going, but, like, direction I started out with, I guess, in a sense, because when I started making music, the people who I would have listened to before, Irish artists anyway, were like Y-Axis, MK. I was a bit familiar with Jafaris, and obviously Hair Squad. There's a couple of people here and there, but I wasn't familiar with everybody like that, because at that time we had that kind of ignorance towards Irish music, so it would have been a lot more difficult for them. But I was more like, a lot of stuff for me was when I was younger. I realized, like, I guess from, like, when I was a baby to, like, I guess my teens, like, I think I was like, the earliest song or artist I recall was when I was 4 and my mom was playing Michael Jackson on TV. Like, I just remember loving it so much, and just, like, he himself, he's a genius. But growing up later, and I'm thinking about, like, 10, I just used to sit in front of the TV and switch on Kerrang for, like, time. It was weird because, like, I could only imagine my parents walking in and just seeing me listen to Korn on the TV or something. But then, like, I got into, like, Eminem. I got, like, my dad gave me my first CD as well. It was 50 Cent Bulletproof. So that's when I started getting into, like, hip hop and stuff. And yeah, just along those lines. And I think probably, like, my teens and stuff, I started to get into, like, pop punk. So I don't know if you're ever familiar with like Press the Veil or Bring Me the Horizon,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then like stuff like that.
Actually, I used to work in a venue in Manchester, and it was at a Diane Tord gig they were playing,
Yeah.
and Ollie Sykes was in the crowd on his own
Oh,
from
yeah?
Bring Me the Horizon. Yeah, he has a big like feather tattoo there, and he just came up and got his coat off me at the end. He was like, "Thank you," like really softly spoken. I'm used to hearing you screaming into the
I was
mic.
so shocked,
Yeah.
when I like found out he was British.
Oh
I was
really?
like,
Yeah,
what?
yeah,
I
yeah.
heard
Yeah.
him I was like, yo, I was watching the interview, or is it either that or cover? I was just like, wait, what? I don't know. I thought he was American or something. But
Yeah. Guess it's just the sound and the style, isn't it?
Yeah, because then when you actually listen back to it, it's not American at all. But I mean, shit, like dubstep wasn't American, but I thought that, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, well, you got like people like James Blake and stuff started putting out dubstep. Like,
wait, what?
James-
Since when?
yeah, have you not listened to early James Blake?
Back in the day, like.
Oh mate, you've got to. Yeah.
Word. That's
If you listen to like pre like Limit to Your Love and stuff,
wow.
like it's all like dubstep and like
you guys heavy into dubstep?
You used to speak about it a lot more, and I was a bit more into it when you talked about it when we were
yeah,
at uni.
I didn't really ever get into the like Skrillex style like
Oh,
bro step
really?
stuff.
Yeah, no, that wasn't the stuff that I was thinking.
But like
either.
more like yeah, like the early James Blake and like Banger and like stuff like that. But
I'm
yeah,
gonna
you should
check that out.
definitely check out the
That's
early James
crazy.
Blake stuff. It's
I'll check
crazy.
that out. That's tight.
Yeah, but I mean, it's interesting going back into influences and even looking at what's coming into your style, because like some of the stuff I heard, even like it's like house influences. Like maybe you're not explicitly listening to that sort of music, but when I listen to Rage and Chill EP, there's such a varied range of styles in there, and even the skits and stuff. Is that something coming from maybe the movie influence, where just to connect the different pieces? Is that why you're using it?
It's a mix of movie influences in my mind.
Yeah.
'Cause I won't lie, like I talk to my psyche all the time. Like I'd be like speaking out, you know, like this one thing is like you just be thinking so much, like words just slip out, like you know what I mean. So like I kind of adopted that since I've started music. Like in Newtown, you can hear me like talking on the track. I just like it's just one of those things that come naturally. But yeah, definitely the music, movies stuff as well. Because for one, Napoleon Dynamite is one of my favorite films. Like going back to all like the
That film's fucking amazing.
It's so like I watched that about like 50 times.
I genuinely think that film is like underrated. It's like I know it's like silly,
so,
but like it is amazing.
I feel like it is genuinely one of the best films in the world. Like, no
No,
joke.
like I get you.
I mean, I sound like such a banger. No, but like it's just like every time I watch it, I find something new. I'm just like, this is a masterpiece, you know. And then obviously, I don't know, maybe I just like that whole like quirky like side of stuff, cause it's so innocent. Like Scott Pilgrim,
Yeah.
even though like, and once I feel like Scott Pilgrim kind of ties into like the mentality of Fight Club too, in the sense where like you watch this video and it's like, yo, cool superpowers, but then you realize this guy and this girl are two douchebags. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
like, once you keep watching stuff, there's so many layers you can uncover and stuff like that. But it's just like, it's sick.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of like 500 Days of Summer. Have you seen that?
Which
500 Days of Summer. Yeah, yeah.
Wait, your man. I think.
Joseph
Is that the
Gordon-Levitt.
one where it's like, no, that's the other one. I was thinking of the one where it's like Seth Rogen and your man gets cancer.
That's 50-50.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I used to see it on something all the time. I never actually got a chance to watch it yet.
But yeah, that is interesting. Is that when you think like? Is that when you come up with song ideas the most? Then, like when you're watching movies.
When I watch movies, I do get a lot of inspiration from movies, but in general, I get a lot of inspiration. I feel like I get a lot of inspiration. I feel like I get a lot of inspiration from life in general, in the sense of like, this is what they say, like pain is progress. You know, without pain, there can't be progress. It's like you go through hardships. That's one thing I always try to take. You know, as much as I can, just keep on reiterating in my mind, like, you're going through hard times, it's not there to break you, but for you to learn from. So, like, whether it's just things in general, work, life, family, whatever else, like, because at the end of the day, we do this stuff, but on top of that, we have stuff that we don't put on public. Like, I've had, like, a lot of mentors in my life. I cannot say that, like, I do this entirely on my own. Like, whether it's music, whether it's life, or whatever else, like, even in music, I say I've had at least, like, 11 or 12 mentors, you know? That's from like people's moms to other artists or just friends, you know what I mean? And like this could be something as simple as meeting up with an old friend from school and then having a game of chess, just talking about life and talking about a lot of things, spirituality, whatever else. Going to your friend's house and talking to his mom and she's talking about this and that. She's giving you advice, stay away from this, don't do it, you know what I mean? Like, there's just so much, like, if you really, like, open your mind, open your eyes, there's just so much you can learn every day. like, you know, and like even just like I don't like I'd be going up and down between London and Dublin, and like I remember when I first like I was like 19, I was just going up and down and stuff. I would just have like some mad conversations in the Uber, and like just I always take everything in like that. I appreciate like those interactions, or just even like when I meet people at shows. That's one thing that was so annoying the first time for the Zatello's premiere. It's just like I was seeing a lot of people I had never seen before, but I always talk to.
Yeah.
Person for the first time. It's like there's just not enough time right now.
It's crazy.
Really
It's overwhelming because you don't really get to speak to them either. Like,
Yeah.
and I would probably, when I go to them sort of things, like make like a concerted effort to go and speak to a couple of people really properly, and then be like, the other people, I'll go and catch up with them and you want to make a good first impression and really like, and you know, connect with them. You don't want to just be like, hey man, blah blah blah, and then sort of dander off. You know, that's not what it's there for.
At the same time too, it's just like I feel like, you know, when it's meant to happen, or
Exactly.
so you can't force it. So.
I think that's something that is like relevant to any industry that you're in, is like timing. Something that always crops up in the podcast, speaking to people, and like not trying to force stuff. Do you ever feel as though you've been trying to make something happen and it just won't, and then when you let go and you just focus on other things, it all starts to come together?
That's what Fight Club's about.
Yeah.
Well, a part of it, because obviously it's consumerism, this is not that mentality, that philosophy of just letting go. Like it's literally in the lyrics in the song.
Yeah.
Like it's just like you can't. The only thing you're guaranteed in this life to have forever and have control of is yourself. You feel me? Like everything else, the people you love, the people you meet, the things you want to do, you don't necessarily have control over that. So to try and do that is only strenuous on yourself. To an extent, you just have to have that conviction, that trust, that like, cool, this will work, this will happen, I'll meet this person, this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if you're constantly trying to, you know, force everything, you're only going to do yourself in.
Yeah.
You know? And it's something, as someone like myself, I do think a lot, and this and that, it can be hard because then you do start to conform. And once again, like the song or the film, is what they go against, conforming to that system, that standard. You know? Because it does lead to a sense of just like lack of authenticity.
Yeah.
You know? You just don't, you're trying so hard to be what you're not, and then you go against what you stand for, and then it's a bad recipe.
Do you ever get nervous about like putting your music out, because it's like so much like coming from you and like all about yourself?
It's a hard one. It's not, I don't know how to put this, because like I come from a different background in a sense where like I come from like rock music, metal music, skate culture. I don't give a fuck. But at the same time, like you make music and you put yourself out there. So you connect to a certain, I wouldn't say audience, but you feel me, that you just connect to people. But for me personally, it's half and half, because I feel like my music will connect with who it deserves to connect with, who it should connect with. Because it's like, if you listen to my song, a certain song, and you like it, that means we have something in common, because I'm not trying to be anyone else but myself. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And obviously you won't always get the response. But I guess that's why I was blessed too, in the sense of like the scene, like it's so welcoming, all these people, all these artists. Like I remember like LHK, or we're on the phone, we're talking about it, and just like, don't even worry about the plays or this and that, you know? And I was even in that position because I tried to conform. Like I started off on SoundCloud. Like I remember like me and Wax was just putting out a lot of stuff on SoundCloud, and like Shout Out the Basement in London, like they were really like showing love, and everybody here was showing love, his country, and it was building that platform there. But it was like as soon as I started to switch to Spotify and try and get on playlists, like it just was not working for me. So it kind of lost that momentum, and then I was going through stuff personally, kind of, and then I lost my hard drive. I was just like, fuck, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that sounded deep as fuck, losing the hard drive, man.
I deep life so hard when I lost my hard drive, I swear to God. Because like on top of that, it was like uni work too. I was just like, everything is gone. What the fuck do I do? You know? Because it's like, and this is where that term like work smart, not hard. It's like, you can imagine about to sleep.
Oh fuck, I know.
Like, if you ever had your hard drive crash?
I actually haven't. I guess I've been really lucky.
Before I started the podcast, I got my I tried to torrent loads of software. Fuck it, I don't really care. Like, I don't give a fuck anymore. Tried to torrent loads of the feds are watching me now, but tried to download all this software. got it all, and then literally it was like from a movie. All this stuff just started popping up on the screen. I was like, I've completely fucked it, lads, and like everything just got hacked. My PayPal got hacked. They wiped. I had to wipe my whole computer to get everything back, essentially. But what I was planning on doing before was not going to be a podcast. It was going to be this weird video series that totally wouldn't have worked on reflection and probably would have been quite shit. So it was like kind of blessing in disguise, and I didn't lose money in the end. I managed to get it back, so it was all grand. But yeah,
But those moments like they're just so like, especially in this day and age, that everyone has their stuff on their
everything
laptop.
is on your laptop.
It's
Like,
it's like, cause you know, like back then, even like with film cameras and stuff, take a picture, you put in a photo book, like so much memory, so much information is all stored on these digital devices. And you lose that, you're just like,
How did you actually lose it?
it's, it's just so peak. Like it's so literally, it's so random. Like it was late. It was like I think like November time or something. I was chilling. I was heading out to my friend's show. Like he had his first headline, I think. And I was just like watching some anime, watching some One Piece, and then all of a sudden my computer just. I was like, wait, what? I was like, wait, what just happened? Like, I was like, you know when you're in denial. I was just like, oh, it's grand. Just turn it back on. So like, I turned it on, the black screen. I was like, well, it's on. Maybe it's just taking some time. 'Cause, you know, coming from those Windows XP days.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, okay, it's probably all right. I come back and it's still black. This is like, I come back around like 9 p.m. like at night or something. Not probably like 12 or something. It's still black screen. I'm like, fuck. That's when it hit me. I was like, all right, cool. Like, this is the problem. And I took it into the store. And unfortunately, it was like, okay, it saved stuff, and they could probably retrieve some things. I was hopeful, but I wasn't too hopeful in the sense where it's just like, if I build my expectations up and I don't have it, I'm just gonna feel like shit.
Yeah.
So then I'd be like, look, if I can at least get this back and like start again, cool, you know. But within that time, I was really just even like, do I even continue doing music? Like maybe this is a sign to stop. Like it was one of those
was it really that much of a?
in the sense where like I'm in university, so it's just like I've got so much other things. I've got like a lot of life things too, personally. I'm just like, everything's it's just there are moments where like a lot of things just happen at once, and you just like, you feel mad overwhelmed, and like, that was just like, what is going on? On top of that, I had a really bad toothache too, so I was just like, I was just stuck. I was like, I got no outlet right now. I'm stuck in bed with this horrible toothache. Like, what is going on? What is happening in my life right now?
Just getting
Start
punished.
smashing your tooth with the hard drive.
I just drank so much water. You know when you drink like so much water just to hold it, like, but yeah, eventually I got it back, and I had everything I didn't need. We still good to go? Yeah. I had everything I didn't need on it, and that's when I was just like, look. Within that time to allow my friends to just keep going. Like, like, you know what I mean? It is like, if you have it, whatever. If you don't, cool. Just keep going. So my friends, like the people in my life, they're really my rock at that point, you know. And even like my mom was like calling me, it'd be good, and I just as soon as I got it back though, because within that time of waiting for it to be obviously sent it off to the guys. Unfortunately too, there was like a 3-year warranty.
Oh shit, nice.
But it was just running out the next month, so I just about got it fixed, like. And so within that period, I just got into writing a lot, and that's actually when I wrote the hook for Outta Love. It was it was like those.
See what I mean? But this is like when you're saying about timing and not being able to do one thing, you focus on another thing.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I'm imagining your bedroom's just got like backups of hard drives now.
You know what? That's the first time I got a hard drive. It's stupid on me. I should have had one, but like, look, it's one of those ones where like you lose out on some stuff, but look, when one door
Closes, another one opens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so something good did come out of it, like a lot of new mindset, a new way of attacking stuff. Like my production has never been like this before, so like it was a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, that's crazy. And just touching on that song Outta Love, like that is genuinely one of my favorite tracks of the year. Like I'm like not even lying whatsoever. But you see the intro, the way it starts is what got me like straight away. There's no like there's no build up or anything. It just like slams into it. Like where did that thought process come from?
I didn't produce that one, by the way.
Okay.
So I don't like taking credit for whatever I didn't do.
Yeah.
It was actually meant to be on another beat. But what happened was like I was writing, and it was just like bringing lyrics together type thing. Like I said, that period I was just writing a lot of stuff. Like I have so many topics I was writing on, but when I was doing that vibe, I just knew that like I wanted to go with him, and even first time I was like, I'm gonna be sick, like you know what I mean. And so we originally had this other one, but then I heard this beat, I was like, that's the beat, and I sent it to I cut the vocals, and I sent that I cut the vocals with JD Angelo, my engineer, in January time when I was back on Christmas, and sent it off to him. It all just came so naturally, flowed so naturally. Mixing, I've been mixing since like I started making my since I started putting out music. But when he sent his back, I was just like, yeah, we have something on our hands.
Have a hit,
I was like, he did it. He came true.
Yeah.
And I just knew he would type thing, you know. Like one thing with me when it comes to like, and this is why like, I don't like just working with everybody or anybody for no reason. You know what I mean? For one, if you like, as a producer as well, if you have a beat for me, I'd rather you think like I can't get anybody else on this beat but you type thing. It makes it more authentic. It makes it more valuable in the sense where like this is going along with your vision. Otherwise, it's just throwaway in the sense like yeah, you can do stuff, but there's no point doing something for no reason. Because like at the end of the day, everything you kind of put out just builds up towards your legacy. You get what I'm saying? Like imagine Michael Jackson with Tekashi 6ix9ine. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For the plays, like you get me.
And everything that goes online, especially, like it's pretty much there forever because
Exactly.
it gets ripped off or downloaded somewhere else. Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
And have you any plans for like any projects coming out through like in the future?
See, it's one of those I say something. Okay. So I was actually watching Nilo's interview as well earlier today with and he's just talking about like because he had like a project he said he was gonna put out and eventually I'll put it. So I have songs ready in a sense where like I had prepped up to do something, but I was like, do I put something out? Do I put a project? And a lot of guys are like, you guys are saying something, District is saying something, just like the pressure's on, like, you know what I mean? So I've hit up a couple of friends, like, so
You're cooking something.
stuff is in the process. That's all I'll say.
No, I just rather would hear that something's in the works. You know what I mean? It just gets you excited anyway. Because like we go on about it all the time. But I mean, what would you say that how important are projects?
Very 100. Like I get like the whole idea of singles versus projects and is that because I feel like Vine fucked us up. I won't lie, that 5-second thing, like people's
Minds are just forever fucked now.
it's just like nah, if it's not, it's like some people, I guess, podcasts for one, like shows short, like long attention span, this is not like those things like that. I'm not a fan of like the 42 like size albums on some like that's some crackhead energy. But like a certain amount is cool, you know, like even like when was it Kanye put out like 7 tracks with you guys and all of them were on that wave. Yeah, that's cool. But wait, what's the question again?
What do you think of projects like?
Okay, they do still have a strong role because I found that when I started off, I realized like I gained a lot more traction when I put out projects. Obviously it's all timing. Like sometimes you can put out something at the wrong time and then just
flops.
Not even flops, but like because I feel like what is a flop? You know, some things build over time. You know.
Maybe not getting the reaction that you want initially, I guess. I mean, some things do age better with time, but then I guess it's like you said with timing, like if you haven't got the desire from people to hear an album or a project, then there's not really the point. You know what I mean?
Right. And I think that's what may have been a recipe for Outta Love as well too. Because I think was that the first track? No, second track I dropped this year. When I put out Look Both Ways, that was the first track. I had like once again my hard drive crashed. So for that period, the last time I put out a song was around this time last year. Yeah. And I hadn't put out anything until that moment. So it's like people are like, "Where's the music? Like, please, we want music." Yeah. And then eventually, you feel me? So like, there's a hunger for people want that, and then boom, you deliver. Same with a project now. If they want that and you put it out at the right time, it can make a big effort. But yeah, in terms of traction, in terms of just a solid body, because sometimes I feel like if you do a certain way, you guys familiar with umami?
Yeah.
Yeah, like what I love what she did. Like she did some like Drake type shit. It's like she put out certain tracks here and there.
Yeah.
And they're all like accumulated to be a project. Like
Was that the like Umami Presents thing? Yeah, I think I was actually listening to that the other day.
Sick.
Yeah.
Sick.
She's sick.
She's dope. She's one. I don't want to be biased. Let me show up.
No, because I could see you like properly putting out a project, because like you seem like the kind of guy that like really thinks about like what a song means or like all that kind of thing, and like I feel like it would be really good for you to put out like a, you know, however many tracks it is, all about one subject where each song like tackles like a different aspect of it. Do you know what
There's
I mean?
a narrative to the bigger.
Mm.
Because I feel like you do, but you do pay attention to like a bigger picture. Whereas, and there is a creative direction with your videos where, don't get me wrong, it's totally fine to release videos that's, you know, quite simplistic, straightforward, classic rap shit. But we were looking at Cobb the Dude last night, his videos,
Yeah,
and you know, there's some real thought going into what he's doing, and I think that's maybe lacking here as well. Like.
yeah. Have you seen the one that he
videos.
brought out a couple of days ago?
I haven't seen the most recent one, but there was one that's like, I don't want to bum for the summer. I fuck with
Yeah.
it. It's sick.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Yeah, his most recent one is unreal. Definitely check it out. Yeah.
We should maybe have a wee look at these questions people sent. So Pay Fox said, this isn't even a question. Tell him I'm his biggest fan. That guy is the most energetic guy I've met, like, ever. Like, he yeah.
oh, fuck's sake. You say, I fucking love you, bro.
Next one comes from Pat Lagoon. How important is diversity in music for you as an artist and as a listener?
Very. It's very important. I feel like it's refreshing to have so many different types of things. Like, if everybody sounded the same, it would all be one gray world, you know? Like that whole diversity, whether it's drill, it's this and that, whatever else, it's refreshing. Simple as it's nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Gavin Lowndes?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Hey.
Any connections that you could get? Any connections that could get you a collab with Reggie Snow would be fire.
Whoa.
That's a big one.
Reggie, yeah.
he watches this.
I'm like, once again, this goes back to what I was saying. I'm not a fan of I'm not really a fan of just, you know, hey bro, can I get a feature? Like,
Yeah.
If we fuck with each other, or if you see a vision from a while away, cool. But I'd much rather know a person and then do something. But he's sick. I focus.
Yeah, you wouldn't want him getting your cloud anyway. So.
What? Nah, it's not even like that. I would
Yeah,
you know
I'm
what I mean?
joking.
But, yeah.
Biggest influences in music: Jack Carolyn.
It was so Jack. I love you, babe. Biggest influences.
That's a big one. That's.
I gotta listen to so much stuff.
Does anything stick out from like childhood, then teenage years, and then now?
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm just gonna list off shit on people. Okay. Eminem, 50 Cent, Big L, Busta Rhymes, Korn, Nirvana.
Yeah, I was waiting. I was literally waiting.
Metallica, Skrillex, Flux Pavilion. Just so much. Kill Paris. If you, I don't know if any of you are familiar. It's low key. I don't know if anyone's familiar with Chill Step, but yo, I used to fuck with Chill
Really?
Step so heavy. Yeah. Just so much.
I used to listen to Flux Pavilion quite a lot when I was on that like Call of Duty 4 montage wave when I was younger. There used to be so many montages with that as like the dark days, but
the dubstep. That was the thing.
Yeah, the editing to that was insane. Event Anomaly. When are you coming back to Waterford to tear shit up again?
Oh shit! Wait, when are you gonna have me? I was literally I was on when I was heading up to Belfast. I was like, it just felt so nostalgia. I was thinking like, man, this time last year I was in Waterford. I was dead. You're like, man, I'm down.
Yeah, that seemed like a proper iconic gig for a lot of people to get their first gig. You know, the pictures looked amazing, and just there was so much buzz about it after.
100%. I felt like that was a pivotal moment. I felt like that was a historic moment. And just being there with Evan Miles, Fionn, everybody, Z, Pat Lagoon, Woods, like that was such a, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't like personally. Yeah, I don't believe in icons, but I believe people can do iconic shit.
Yeah.
So like when I was there, I was like, wow, this is really happening. I was like, this is a blueprint.
Yeah, weird. I feel like those kind of moments are usually like you only realize when you look back on, but like it's cool that you like thought about that at the time.
Yeah.
Any more questions? Or is that it?
No, that's it. I mean, I think we can wrap it up there. This has been like a proper engrossing conversation. Like, I just wanted to sit and listen.
Sure.
Yeah.
It just feels so. How long was that? I felt the time.
Like just under an hour.
Yeah.
Damn, I felt like
Yeah.
20 minutes.
No, it's mistake, and I feel like there's more left to be talked about, but it's good just to get a taster for it. You know, we'll have you back at some point once you've dropped the project with Reggie Snow. We'll have you in.
Only then.
Drop a Drake feature. No.
Yeah. But yeah, I really appreciate you coming up,
Thank you
taking
for
your
having
time.
me.
Like,
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, it's been good.
yeah. So it's been Dylan,
Yeah, and Jack.
and cheers for coming. Peace.
Yeah.